Well, I've spent about 30 days with the new and slightly improved iPhone 11, and I gotta say, while I still prefer Android as my mobile OS, if someone asked me today which phone I'd recommend regardless of the OS, I'd probably say the iPhone 11. Yeah, seriously. So let's start with the look and design. It's basically the same as last year, and the year before. And the year before. You get the picture. Some might say it's as basic white bitch as a pumpkin spice latte. I say it's simplistically elegant. Although when the display is on, the notch still reminds me of George Clooney's dumb-looking Caesar haircut from back in the day, and I'm not a big fan of how the rear camera setup looks like an unfinished Lego block. But either way, it feels great and doesn't look like some burner phone you'd grab from a 7-Eleven on your way to an international drug deal. Now, one thing Apple mentioned is that the new iPhones now come with the toughest glass ever on a smartphone, which is kind of the same thing they said last year, but after a few months of use, my XS Max ended up with some scratches on both the front and back with very little use after my review. This year on the 11, I haven't seen any scratches on the display, but I have noticed some very almost impossible to see light scratches on the back already. So if this is what scratches look like on an iPhone these days, I'm okay with that. So unlocking has felt noticeably faster and more accurate than before, but Face ID isn't the end-all be-all of perfection, but it's definitely surprised the hell out of me with some of the whack-ass angles I try and unlock it from, especially compared to last year. So the speakers sound awesome, like seriously fantastic. Together they get really loud with little or no distortion, even at max volume, and they're well balanced. Dialogue sounds deep, music sounds full, just a fantastic audio experience. Now, battery life on a smartphone is like literally impossible to review without a systematic benchmark tool that can be repeated from device to device because everyone's usage is just too different from one another. But I can tell you from my experience with the iPhone 11, it's an all-day device for me. With light usage, I can take it to the next morning, but I'll have to toss it on the charger right after I finish my coffee. But yeah, on average, over the past 30 days, it'll last me an entire day and keep me out of the red even as I go to bed. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't know. But unfortunately, as you all know, Apple's still holding out on including a fast charger with the iPhone 11 unless you splurge for one of the Pro models, which I think is just a big ol' slap to the face and a full power kick to the nuts. I'm still super pissed about that. Now, the displays in the more wallet-friendly iPhones have always been tough for me to say good things about because, well, they suck. I'm just kidding, that's not true. Well, not entirely true. See, they produce great colors, but contrast and saturation are lacking a bit compared to other phones in the same price range because it's still using LCD technology instead of OLED. But beyond that, the sub-full HD resolution is like putting square wheels on a sports car. At $700 for a phone in 2019, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I will say that while looking at the home screen, navigating through the settings, dicking around in some apps, it's sharp. It looks like a full HD display, but as soon as I jump into some content creation apps like Instagram or YouTube and Netflix as great examples, compared to phones with, at the bare minimum, 1080p resolutions, the difference is instantly noticeable, and the visual experience can be pretty underwhelming. But of course, at the end of the day, the importance of display quality is based on the user's wants and needs. Do I need a 1440p display? No. Do I want one? Fuck yeah. You know what else I want? Access to geo-restricted content and ad blocking, baby. Browser ad blockers block ads but provide literally no other protection, and that's where Surfshark VPN comes in. With Surfshark, you're totally protected from all those shady nerds trying to yoink your banking credentials and social media accounts by encrypting all your back and forth data as well as blocking ads on your computer and phone. Man, if someone leaked my Twitter DMs, I'd be cancelled. But beyond that, let's say you want to watch some content that's geo-restricted in a certain region. Yeah, no worries. No matter where you are in the world, you can access your social media or different regions' video content libraries like from Netflix or Hulu. So if I wanted to watch the UK's Netflix library, no problem. And even if your partner back home's using Surfshark to do whatever, Surfshark's the only VPN service that allows for an unlimited number of simultaneous connections across every major platform, which is perfect for families. Give Surfshark a try now by clicking the link in the description and use my promo code Jared for 83% off your subscription and an extra month free. All right, let's finish this up with the cameras. So as you all know, this year we've got dual 12 megapixel cameras on the rear. One's a standard wide angle and the other's an ultra wide with a 120 degree field of view. And I gotta say, I'm impressed. Like, seriously impressed. Images coming out of this phone are insane. Dynamic range is just so good. Photos I took in direct harsh lighting would have been blown out with almost any other phone. But with the 11, detail in the shadows and highlights are more than just saved, they're perfected. Clarity is just off the charts. Like, I can't see any overprocessing or software trickery. It just produces clear, sharp images across the board with both cameras. Night mode does an awesome job at creating visually usable images without overdoing it and maintaining detail in the highlights, which is something I noticed the Pixel can struggle with from time to time, but that's based on my experience using the Pixel 3. The Pixel 4 was just launched, so we'll see how it holds up. Video on the 11 is probably the best out there right now. It's smooth, it's sharp, audio sounds good, there's a bunch of frame rates to choose from, and the stabilization is next level, which is perfect for all those idiots posting videos to WorldStar who haven't gotten the memo that you gotta keep the bloody phone steady when recording. I swear, it's like they all smoked a pound of meth and then thought heading out and recording some video of people spazzing out in a McDonald's would be a good time killer. Anyways, the Selfie Cam does a great job too. Colors look equally as good as rear cameras, but now has the ability to record in 4K or 1080p at up to 120 frames per second for some sweet, sweet slow motion, which is pretty impressive, even though I'll never use it because I'll never be that person. Nope. Now, I am guilty of almost always using portrait mode when taking selfies of myself or with other people because it just makes the photo look more interesting, right? But with the iPhone 11, just like every other phone out there, doesn't matter if it's from the front or rear cameras, perfection's always a bit hit or miss. Luckily, in this case, it's more hit than miss, but unless I see some glaring issue with a photo's background and foreground separation, I'm fine with the almost unnoticeable visible errors that can pop up only if you go looking for them. So, all that said, I think the iPhone 11 is probably the perfect phone for almost anyone. The price is perfectly reasonable for everything it can do. Battery life is on par, the software is still a simplistically smooth experience, the design still feels like you've got a premium device in your hand, the audio experience is awesome, and the cameras are like next level amazing. But I still think for the price, Apple really should have at least included a full HD display, even if it was still a LCD, as well as included a fast charger in the box. But you know, that's just my opinion, and I want to know yours. Like, do you own an iPhone 11? Would you agree or disagree with anything I said? Drop me a comment so we can argue about it. Well, I think that does it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, let me know with that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my stuff, and follow me over on Instagram to find out what I'm up to next. But thanks, as always, for watching, everyone, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.